Okay, in this unit, we're going to talk about the different types of holes. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to open Fusion 360. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new design. And what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and save your new design. So go ahead and navigate to your name. And inside there, I want you to create a new folder. And I want you to call the folder 1.3. So everything that we do in regards to 1.3 on Fusion, I want it to be saved inside that folder. And then inside of that 1.3 folder, make sure you double click it. And I want you to click your new folder button again and create a folder called 1.3.2 because that's the activity we're currently working on. And give your file the name holes. And as you can see, I already have a couple of them in there, but just so that I can keep track, I'm going to call mine version 3. I do not want you to call yours version 3. Yours is just going to be holes. Go ahead and click save. And the first thing I want you to do is go ahead and create a sketch. And click on this plane right here. And we're going to create a rectangle that's 5 inches by 2 inches. So I'm going to choose rectangle. I'm going to go to create in my tool ribbon, and I'm going to choose 2-point rectangle. And I want, starting from my origin, I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to make sure that the height is 2 inches. So I'm going to type 2 for my height and 5 for my width. Then I'm going to finish my sketch. Next step, I'm going to press the letter E to extrude, or you could go up to your tool ribbon and click the extrude button. And I'm going to extrude it out to 3 inches. Then I'm going to accept it. I'm going to come over here and I want to change it to the top. I'm going to go ahead and zoom it in so I can see everything better. Next thing I want to do is I want to create 4 points approximately 1 inch apart. So I know that the width of the top is 2 inches. Therefore, each one of these are about a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to find the line using my grid that's about halfway through. So that's going to be this line. And I'm going to use that as a reference point. So I'm going to click Create. Actually, I'm going to create a new sketch. And I'm going to click on top. I'm going to drag this back over. Then I'm going to choose Create again, and I'm going to find Point. I'm going to find that midway line, which is here, and I'm going to find a 1 inch. So I know this is a 1/2 inch, therefore this is 1 inch. So I'm going to click in the center at 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that those are in fact an inch apart. So I'm going to use my dimension tools. I'm going to click Dimension, or you can press the letter D. And I'm going to start here, click, and then go to my first point. Drag this up. I'm going to change my measurement to 1 inch. Press my Enter key. With my dimension tool still selected, I'm going to measure the next point, make sure that those are 1 inch apart. And I'm going to do that for each point. Notice how I'm staggering each of my dimensions. I'm just trying to make sure that they are easy to see. Okay, I was having a hard time with that one. Now my last one, I'm going to kind of stagger it up. Make sure that's 1 inch. Now I'm going to finish my sketch. Now, the next step is I'm going to use those holes, those points that I created, I'm going to use that as a guide to create my holes. So, in your textbook, or if you're looking at the instruction sheet that's located in your Google Classroom, we have a diagram or image here that's going to give us some information about our holes. So if we take a look at this first hole, we know that the first hole has a diameter of a 1/2 inch, and we know that's a through hole, meaning it goes throughout the block. And down here, we kind of get a front view. We know it shows us that it's going all the way through the 3 inches of height of our block. Now, if we look at the second hole note, it's telling us that the hole has a diameter of 0.375. It goes down a depth of 2 inches. So it's not going to go all the way through. Now, it tells us that it does have a counterbore. That's this area right here. And that counterbore has a diameter of 3/4 of an inch. And the counterbore only goes about a 1/2 inch deep. So that's the depth symbol, excuse me. Third hole, the hole has a diameter of 1/4 of an inch, and it goes down a depth of 2.25. It has a countersink, that's the greater than symbol that points down. The countersink has a diameter of 1 inch, and the countersink is at an 82-degree angle. And for our final hole, it is a through hole, meaning it's going all the way through our cube or block. But the diameter of the hole is a 1/2 inch. That's this part right here. And it does have a counter bore, which is what this is. This is a counter bore. But the counter bore portion is 3/4 of an inch. And a counter bore only goes down by 0.625. So this is what we're going to use to create our hole. So let's go ahead and take that first hole. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up to my tool ribbon. I'm going to click the hole tool. And I'm going to click on my first point. And when I click on that, this is going to come up, my little panel here. So the first hole is a through hole, and it's also a simple hole. So I'm going to choose hole type. I'm going to choose simple. I'm going to come up here with where it says distance, and it is a through hole, so I'm going to choose all, meaning through all. So it's going to go through the entire block. And it's going to be a 1/2 inch in diameter. So I'm going to come right here, and I'm going to change that to 0.5. And I'm going to accept it. Let me go back to that. There we go. So that's our first hole. Now, what sometimes happens is the points we created can disappear. If that happens, come over here to your browser, come over to where it says Sketches, and expand that. And so basically those sketches have become hidden. So you're gonna have to click on the eye tool to make them visible again. Now, we're gonna work on this second point or the second hole. So I'm gonna click the hole tool, and then I'm gonna click on my second point. Now, in that image that's in your curriculum, it tells you that the diameter is 0.375 with a depth of 2 inches. And we know it's a counterbore. So I'm gonna choose hole type. I'm gonna go over here and choose counterbore. And the diameter of the hole is 0.375, so I'm gonna go down to the bottom. And I'm gonna change that to 0.375 for the diameter of the hole. Now the diameter of the counterbore is 0.75, which is shown here. And the depth of the counterbore portion is a 1/2 inch. Now, the depth is 2 inches. All right, once I get that set, I'm gonna click OK. And now I'm gonna rotate it so we kind of see what it looks like from the side. So now we have a counterbore, okay? I'm gonna come over here and click top, and then we're gonna work on our third point. So I'm gonna click the hole tool once again. Then I'm gonna click on my third point, and then I'm gonna make adjustments to the hole. So the diameter of the hole is gonna be 1/4 inch. So I'm gonna come down here and change that to 0.25. And the depth of the entire hole is 2.25, so I'm going to change that to 2.25. And it shows us as having a countersink for that third hole. Let me get this over here. It's a countersink. The actual countersink portion is 1 inch wide, and diameter is 82 degrees. So let me move this out of the way. So I have to come up here where it says hole type, and I need to change that to a countersink. And the countersink is 1 inch, so I'm gonna change that to 1 inch. And the angle of the countersink is 82 degrees, so I'm going to change that to 82 degrees. Then I'm going to click OK to accept it. Now, my fourth hole is, let me drag this over so you can see what I'm talking about. My fourth hole, it is a through hole, means it goes throughout the block. The diameter of just the hole portion that goes all the way through is a 1/2 inch. It is a counterbore. Now the diameter of the counterbore portion, that'll be the top portion, is going to be a diameter of 3/4 inch, and the depth of the counterbore is 0.625. So let's go ahead and set that up. So with my hole tool selected, I'm going to click on the last point, and I'm going to change the diameter to 0.25. Mine is already set to 0.25, so I'm 0.5. That should read 0.5, not 0.25. I was looking at the previous one. And it is a through hole. I need to change this to counterbore. Where it says extent, I need to change that to all, because it should go throughout the entire hole. All right. And let me scroll up here. It's a counterbore, and the counterbore portion has a diameter of 0.75, which mine is already set to 0.75. And the depth for the counterbore portion should be 0.625. All right, let me see, make sure I'm not missing anything. So we got that through all. We have counterbore. All right, so once you have those set, go ahead and click OK. And now you can see all 4 holes. All right, so once we've created that, let's try another little tool here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold down my Shift key, and I'm going to kind of show everything to the side here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to click in my toolbar. I do not have a sketch open, so this is the tool ribbon that you need to have open. I want you to go to the Inspect. And let's go to Section Analysis. I believe that's what I want. And so which part do we want to analyze? So I'm going to click this face here. And let me rotate it a little bit so we kind of see it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my little arrow tool here, and I'm going to move it in to halfway. So just so we can see what our holes look like. Now you notice it looks the same kind of as it does in your textbook, where you can actually see how the holes looked. So if we were to compare those, so this is my first hole, my second hole, my third hole, and my fourth hole. So what we've done is pretty accurate, right in line with what the curriculum wants us to do. There we go. So this is what I want you to do with this. I want you to give me a good angle, maybe looking down, similar to this angle. And what I want you to do is take a screenshot of this, paste it inside of a Google Doc, and I want you to go ahead and submit it.